Hey, everybody. Welcome to Product and Marketing, a love story. I'm Paula Meehan. And, this podcast is a place for marketers to learn more about companies that have had amazing trajectories of growth, understand their playbook better, and see if there are opportunities for us to apply that into our day to day. So, purely a passion project. Obviously, it helps me in my day to day role as a VP marketing at Wix.com. And the company that I wanted to go over with today is Canva. So Canva, they're the template machine that redefined go-to-market. I don't really want to talk about the design tool, but the growth engine. Most people still frame Canva as a viral, democratized design platform, but that's just surface level. The real story, I think, is how Canva industrialized template-based SEO, built workflow distribution into the product, and quietly scaled into a 1.7 billion ARR machine without spending like a traditional SaaS giant. They didn't get there by running flashy performance campaigns necessarily or pushing influencer codes. Canva's go-to-market is what happens when you fuse distribution directly into the product and then scale it use case by use case, vertical by vertical. It's really a playbook, I think, worth studying, especially if you're thinking about how product and marketing can stop competing and start compounding. So starting at the core, Canva was founded by a very simple but very important insight in that it's most people need things to look good, but they are not necessarily trained designers. So instead of trying to compete with an Adobe, for instance, it was a product built to empower people who needed to design quality, but that weren't necessarily designers themselves. And then what came next, I think from a marketing point, was really brilliant because most SaaS companies built templates as onboarding aids, but what Canva did is that they built them as a growth. Every public template became search results, and every search result solved a specific problem. Resume templates, baby shower invitations, Zoom backgrounds for teachers. They weren't trying to build a brand necessarily. They were really trying to do was capture intent, and it built one on top of the other. And this is how they scaled. So according to SEMrush, Canva ranks for over 200,000 unbranded keywords, and it brings in upwards of 30 million organic visits per month. But let's talk about conversion for a second. Canva's freemium model isn't designed around gating features. It's built to surface behavioral cues. So I think this is, if you're working in freemium, which I do all the time, if you want to have a very deep understanding of how your free users are engaging with your products and have indicators for what might make them more or less likely to convert into a paying user. And that's really their monetization philosophy. You watch what users are doing and you identify patterns that signal both value and commercial potential. So you're not pushing this paywall. You're responding to signals of professional use, and that's a smart and lightweight way to segment users based on behavior rather than declarations. So you are spending less time trying to convert someone as maybe a student or like someone making invitations for their kid's birthday party. That is unlikely to occur. But where the story gets even more interesting is in Canva's ecosystem design, because they don't rely on influencers traditional B2C way. They do use them, especially in niche creator and educator spaces. So think YouTube tutorials, TikTok walkthroughs, social templates for planners and content creators. So Canva provides the rails, but creators drive that surface level demand generation. They have the Canva Creator Program, which is its own growth loop. It invites power users to publish their own templates into the library, which means more templates, more long tail SEO. It's community driven, localized, where you have a lot of credibility with that kind of engagement in the product. So users are not just using Canva, they're building it with them. And that goes way beyond product virality. I think it's really a platform leverage. And then they have all these integrations. Canva isn't just where you design. It's where you design and it fits into everything else. It fits into your Google Drive or Dropbox or Slack, HubSpot. And all of these position Canva as a place to work. This is something that's extremely relevant, I think, for any software company that's trying to tap into enterprise, right? You need to be very well integrated because already we're so loaded with different kinds of tools that we need to use. The easier you make it connected to someone's day-to-day work, the more likely that uptake will be. But anyway, long story short, the strategic point here is Canva didn't scale by trying to be everywhere. They scaled by solving everything, which if you think about it is an insane undertaking, but they didn't do it all at once. They did it a bit at a time. And it's over the course of their history that they've been able to grow this huge empire of things. What do I think marketers can take from this? A couple things. You don't necessarily need to build awareness if you are super high intent. I think, and you'll hear me say this a lot, especially now with the rise of AI search, intent is going to become even more important for product discoverability. So that awareness around your product, if it's solving specific kind of problems, your users will find you as you're doing it right. SEO in and of itself, I think, is a subject that we need to unpack, but it's not just blog content. You can really leverage your product much more. I think Canva did an excellent job of showing what could be done there. But when you're thinking about pricing, especially in freemium models, watch what your users are doing and take those actions to figure out when is the right time to pay well. In an ecosystem, that would be my fourth point. If you are able to build a healthy creator loop, if you're able to create community around your product, that's going to have just infinite amount of value. And finally, when product and marketing stop being separate teams and address the same problems, things are just going to scale faster. That's why I've called this podcast Product Marketing a Love Story. So that's the Canva playbook. It's not super splashy, but I think so well executed, really. I think in our next episode, I'm going to cover Notion and how modular content creator communities and second brain philosophies turn them into a cult brand, and what product marketing looks like when you are when your users lead the narrative. That's all for today, and I hope you catch more episodes. Thanks.